waiting on the kickoff from Cole Ford. And he spins it away. Hit it well. Milburn will bring it out 4 yards deep in the end zone. Stays on his feet and brought down at the 21-yard line by James Polston. 25-yard return. So here comes Scott Mitchell, the 28-year-old out of Springville, Utah. See his numbers on the season, the 11 touchdowns up front. Robertson Moss at the tackles. Compton Harding's making his first NFL start today. And the All-Pro Glover in the middle. The amazing Barry Sanders in the backfield. 3 wideouts of Morton, Perriman, and Herman Moore. Metzelaars, a longtime Buffalo Bill, is a tight end. Metzelaars in motion. The give to Sanders finds a big hole. And he brings it out to the 30. Tripped up and tackled by Larry Brown. The Raiders defensively, the 7th ranked unit in the NFL. Swilling and Johnstone starting in place of Harrison at the defensive end slot. McLaughlin and Maryland in the middle. Jones, Beekert, and Fredericks in the linebacking core. And the secondary of the All-Pro Lewis joining McDaniel. Land in place of the injured Darren Carrington. Lorenzo Lynch is a strong safety, a 2nd and 2, and the pitch to Sanders. First down yardage. Penalty flag, however, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and we'll see if that will take away a first down. Holding against Detroit.
You know, some of the things that we talk about what this team has to do, both teams, to be successful today. We talked about the injuries for Detroit and their problems, and how they're going to have to compensate with 8 men front to stop the run. And that's where the Raiders have to hit them where it hurts. They got to run the football. Aska's got to be in there. Kaufman making the big play. But the Raiders cannot have the crucial turnovers and penalties that has been killing them.
Well, an early penalty against Detroit. And that pushes them back 10 yards. It would have been a first down. Instead, it's 2nd and 12. And Mitchell, his first throw. Herman Moore. Whoa, what a move. And he's going to be close to a first down, depending on the spot. Needed to get just beyond the 32. Lorenzo Lynch able to wrap him up.
And I like what Wayne Fontes did. He went to Barry Sanders. He took the pressure off of Scott Mitchell early and said, okay, this is your #1 problem, Oakland Raiders. This man right here. Barry ripped off some nice yards, even though they had the penalty. Then they went back outside to Herman Moore. The whole key, though, is letting Scott Mitchell relax, ease himself into this game.
And it was indeed good enough for a first down. Ball at the 33-yard line. Sanders escaped 1 tackle and maybe picked up a yard or 2 as he was pushed out of bounds by Lorenzo Lynch.
That's the amazing thing about Barry Sanders. I tell you what, Chester McLaughlin had him. He broke through the line, got him around the ankles. But what does that mean to Barry Sanders? That means absolutely nothing. He keeps running. As long as you have Barry Sanders, you can win any game no matter how many points you're down.
Sanders, one of 10 backs in NFL history to eclipse 10,000 yards rushing, the 3rd fastest to do it, behind Jim Brown and Eric Dickerson. 2nd and 7. Mitchell throws high, and it's a ball nearly intercepted. They'll bring up 3rd down.
The Raiders think that if they can hammer Mitchell early, get pressure on him like they always try to do to any quarterback, that will be in their favor. But you got to remember, Detroit basically is a run and shoot team. They're disguised very cleverly as a non-run and shoot team, but they are. The 3 wide receivers, a 1-back set. And Mitchell has done a good job in the last couple weeks of using his weapons. And look at Herman Moore. That's the guy you want to go to in 3rd down. He's been huge. Expect the double coverage on him.
3rd and 7. To the near side, and the reception made by Johnny Morton. Tried to get enough for a first down, but couldn't do it. Shoved out of bounds again by Lorenzo Lynch. So the Lions on their first possession pick up a first down, but now they'll punt it away.
Lorenzo Lynch doing a nice job coming up and stopping the first down. Morton actually was not out of bounds, but a good hit. And we talk about guys that are Raider-type personnel. Lorenzo Lynch coming from the Arizona Cardinals. He is definitely that Raider personality.
Hobbs waiting on the punt from Mark Royals. And he juggles the ball, loses it out of bounds, and they're going to spot it at the 33-yard line. So the Raiders will get their first try on offense after just a 25-yard punt from Royal.
Day is brought to you by Porsche, who wish to remind you there is no substitute. By the new Coors Light Wide Mouth Can, tap the Rockies with a smoother pour. By Wendy's and the new bigger, plumper grilled chicken breast filet sandwich. Try one today. And by 1-800-COLLECT, the way we call collect today.
Back at Oakland, first possession for the Raiders, and they'll start at their 34. Fenner and Aska in the backfield, but Hostetler will come out throwing. And he fires a seed, good enough for a first down, out to the 43 to James Jett. Hostetler, a knee injury early in the season, making just his 5th start of the year. The Raiders 2-2 when he runs the show. Up front, Jenkins replaces Pat Harlow at left tackle. Wisniewski, Robbins, Gogan, and Kennedy up front. And in the backfield, Joe Aska, a marvelous game against the Jets last week, joining Fenner, Brown, and Jett, the wide receivers. The Ohio State rookie Ricky Dudley, the tight end. First down carry to Aska. He crosses the 45, good enough for a 2-yard gain. Defensively for the Lions, a banged-up group to say the least. Waldrop will get the start. Shane Bottom filling in for Luther Ellis. They're okay on the other side with Thomas and Porche. London a regular, as is Pepper Johnson, but Kowalkowski taking over for the rookie Reggie Brown. Raymond and McNeil the corners. Van Malone, Benny Blades are the safeties.
Yeah, and then Scroggins just limped off the field. There he is right there. And that's Kevin Curran Waldrop, the rookie. He'll come in there and start. He started last game, so this is nothing new to him.
2nd and 9. Aska, did he have?
That's a live ball.
It is a live ball. And let's see who got to the football at the 41-yard line. Pepper Johnson, the jarring hit against Aska out of the backfield.
Well, you see the two teams going at it. Wayne Fontes made it very clear to his team, do not get into any of that extracurricular stuff that the Raiders like to do. And they're not gonna.
It looks like Hostetler was the man, Ronnie, pardon me, who covered it up.
He came and got it back. Boy, that's great awareness. Right here, there's Aska. He's gonna come across the middle and catch the ball. The coverage, pretty good job by Pepper Johnson. Watch his right arm. And yeah, Aska does take steps. He has demonstrated possession. And that's a fumble. And it's a live ball here, but a good job of getting back on the football.
7 defensive backs have checked in on a 3rd and 11. Raiders need to get to the Lions 45 for a first down. Hostetler will take it. A first down and steps out of bounds at the 42. So the 35-year-old oft-injured quarterback still moves pretty well.
Yeah, he got out of there kind of nice, and we talked about the injuries up front. People have been able to put pressure on Hostetler, but I want you to watch the nice pocket that forms that he can step up to right here. If we can freeze it. I mean, there is nobody getting to Hostetler. And then they had the double team on Hank Thomas, which is what you got to do.
17 yards later, a first down for the Raiders. Aska. Tackles and slams his way to the 34, picking up close to 6. Waldrop and Kowalkowski converging on the tackle.
The right side of Detroit's defensive line is the weak area, and they think they can attack that, but they have to get this man blocked, Hank Thomas, and that's a good job as Wisniewski putting him down inside. Another good block right there on the safety coming up the fill. Gogan coming down, making a nice block. See if they can get Hank Thomas, because he plays inside and he's cocked in. He's a hard guy to get blocked. They get him out of the way, they got a chance to run the football.
2nd and 4. Hostetler to the air, and it's caught near side by James Jett. Another Raider first down.
You talk about what the Raiders have talent-wise, and the first thing you notice is what they have on the perimeter. Speed. They got speed in the guy right there in James Jett, one of the fastest men in the NFL. Then they have it on the other side with Hobbs. And it's one thing to have the speed, but it's another thing to make the tough catch. And he got the knee down, and one knee equals 2 feet. That's why it's a good catch.
Jerome Davison is checked in for the first time, number 48. Raiders on the move, and here comes the reverse the other way. Tim Brown with room, and he's down to the 10. Malone and Blades on the tackle.
Tim Brown is going to come all the way across the field and go back the other way. Now, he's a guy in motion right there. Now, watch what he does. Now, look at that right there. They've got a good seal on the Lions. And if you get your guys out in front and can get a block, then you can even make more happen. And they talk about the leaders of this team, the guys who constantly step up. And even though Tim Brown hasn't had the kind of season so far that he's had in the past, he's still the go-to guy for the Raiders.
First down throw to Brown. He's inside the 5 to the 4. Tackle made by Ryan McNeil. It's not a first and goal. It is a first and 10. The Raiders can get just inside the 1 for a first down.
You know, McNeil very aware of who he's on. You know, this close to the goal line, reading the quarterback all the way. You know, these are easy throws. These are the kind of throws the offense wants to make, and they're going to take.
Second down and 3. Ball spotted at the 4-yard line. Haskett. Oh, where to go? Led by a host of white jerseys, led by the 11-year veteran Pepper Johnson.
Pepper Johnson finally's got his feet underneath him. You know, he came into camp late. They signed him late, and it's a good thing they did with all the linebacker trouble they've had. And he admits he was out of shape, flat, when he came in here. They even had to sit him down for a couple games before he could get himself together.
You see the Raiders are opening possession very unsuccessful this season, but they could change all that. 10th play of the drive, chewed up better than 5 minutes. A 3rd and 3, and 6 defensive backs have checked in for the Lions. And Hostetler will test him. Steps up in trouble and still gets away. Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, James Jett.
Boy, that brings back shades of the snake. Getting out of things, scrambling, throwing at the last minute. All Jeff Hostetler. You talk about a guy who's had the injuries, but a tough guy. That time making something happen and finally scoring some points in the first quarter.
We're now on for the extra point. Cole Ford. No problem. The Raiders chew up close to 6 minutes on their opening drive. Hostetler to Jett, and an early Oakland 7-0 lead. Raiders down and have taken a 7-0 lead here in the opening quarter. James Jett, his first touchdown of the season. And what an impressive drive for the Raiders. 10 plays, 67 yards. Glenn Milburn, Richard Woodley again waiting on the kick, and another dandy by Cole Ford. Down on a knee is Milburn, and the Lions will take over at the 20. So we'll see what the Lion offense can do against a Raider D when we come back to Oakland.
Go. Now you're going to watch right here. This is where Hostetler wants to throw the ball, and he's going to have Daryl Hobbs, number 80, wide open right there. But it's good pressure by Shane Bonham. I don't know how Bonham misses the tackle. You can see him right there scraping his way out of it. And the key to a secondary to maintain poise back here is to stay back. Don't come up. And that's why they're able to get the touchdown in the back of the end zone.
Detroit getting the ball for the second time. First and 10 from its own 20. And Mitchell, a short drop. Steps out of trouble. And he'll dive ahead out to the 28-yard line. Bob Fredrickson there to make the tackle. And a gain of close to 7 for Mitchell.
Scott Mitchell, when he started the first 2 games of the season, did not start well. And it lasted up until about 3 weeks ago when he finally got into his rhythm. And the biggest thing he's been able to do is get the ball and spread it around to his people.
They call it a gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Sanders. Wow. Amazing runner to watch. Good enough for a Detroit first down out to the 34. Right now, a McDonald's game break. And let's return to our buddy JB in our Fox Television Center.
All right, Tom, 4th and goal at the 10. Buffalo looking to tie up Miami earlier today, but Terrell Buckley picks it off. 5th interception of the season. He goes 91 yards. I know Ron Pitts likes that. That sealed the deal for the Dolphins, who win it 21-7. And welcome back, Tom, and of course, Ron Pitts.
Thank you, JB. Great to be back.
Well, JB, I kind of like half of it. You know, that means Elijah has to take that L.
Well,
but it was a nice play.
The Morton and Sanders still on his feet, and he's close to midfield. Absolutely amazing to watch Barry Sanders.
They said they were going to do more with Barry Sanders in terms of motioning out of the backfield and using him in areas they haven't used him before. Here, they come with a fake reverse, but it doesn't matter. No 2 men ever tackle Barry Sanders. The first 2 guys always miss. Trapp has a legitimate shot. McDaniel thinks he has a shot. He doesn't. The key is game tackling. There's Tom Moore. Getting the ball to Barry Sanders early, very smart. Don't put the pressure on Scott Mitchell. Put the pressure on the defense by running Barry Sanders.
1st and 10, Sanders 4 rushes, 32 yards, and a quick throw to Metzelaars, who stays on his feet. And he gets inside the 45, down to the 44-yard line. Pete Metzelaars signed as a free agent after spending a season in Carolina. 10 terrific seasons in Buffalo.
Pete Metzelaars is playing in his 211th game. I mean, he's on his way to playing the most games of any tight end in the NFL.
Not a bad basketball player either. He still holds a Division III record for a field goal percentage in a season.
Out of that powerhouse Wabash. I used to tease him about that all the time in Buffalo.
Sanders loses a handle. Mitchell scrambling for it. Fredrickson involved in the pile.
They might have taken it away from Mitchell on the pile because he had the ball as he went down.
Looked like Mike Jones is down, still wrestling around for the ball as well. Well, Mitchell apparently has it.
Jones is limping off, holding his hand there.
Well, Ronnie, that's a pretty good battle. Mitchell 6'6", 230. Jones 6'1", 230.
They try to go to the handoff here, and the penetration is so good. Barry never really gets the ball. You see Jones there. He was in the backfield before Mitchell could hand the ball off. They talk about the units on this team that are solid. People in the league think the linebacking core for the Raiders, they are very solid.
Well, Jones is out. Mike Morton is taking over for him. Penalty flags down. Swung by Mitchell to Herman Moore. But now they're blowing the play dead as the field is just littered with yellow flags. Of course, getting back to Sanders just for a moment, a rare fumble for Barry as well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And that's unusual. Like I said last week, I haven't seen Barry fumble as much as I have the last 2 years in the league.
On the left turn on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down. There is no foul for illegal pass because the
looked like they called a false start. You know, they know coming into this game, the Raiders know they have to stop Herman Moore. I mean, they have 2 other receivers on the field at all times. And when you get up against a guy as big as Herman, you do what you can to keep the guy covered. And Daniel falls down, but he gets that leg up and tries the old leg whip. Hey, baby, whatever works. Just cover, baby, right? Just cover.
That's exactly right. Good protection.
Great
Mitchell,
protection.
the long ball looking for Perryman, overthrows, and it was nearly intercepted by Larry Brown.
Larry Brown has the ball, and if Lorenzo Lynch doesn't hit him, then that's an interception. Scott Mitchell, I believe, just trying to air it out. Perryman's going to come all the way down and kind of bend into the middle of the field. The coverage is there. Larry Brown step for step. But he doesn't get enough on that ball. It should have been intercepted. Boy, Larry Brown, a guy that's taken a lot of heat here lately. People criticizing and really second-guessing whether or not they should have paid the money for him. He hasn't stepped up yet.
Hobbs brings it out to the 32. Tom Beer on the tackle. Brown getting a lot of playing time here today as Albert Lewis, for some reason, and when we find out, we'll let you know, is by and large spent the majority of the game on the sideline. So a 40-yard
need interceptions. The Raiders only have one interception this year.
Pasco stonewalled by number 52, Scott Kolakowski, who's in emergency duty today with all the injuries to Reggie Brown, the rookie out of Texas A&M. Stephen Boyd, his backup, also hurt. And we saw Tracy Scroggins leave. He's been bothered by a bad ankle and, in fact, has been inactive the last couple of games.
You saw Kolakowski right there. His father, Bob, was a Lion himself, played guard for the team, 66 to 75. Kolakowski's the special teams captain. I mean, you talk about just hard-nosed guys that will give you 100% effort. That's what he is.
2nd and 9, and here comes Tim Brown again. It worked the first time, but not this time.
Waldrop again. Talk about a rookie that stepped up and made some plays. Waldrop has had to step in for Scroggins. There he is right there. And the thing I like about this guy, he's a high motor guy. He goes 100% all the time. And he makes this play by fighting through the block. If you don't get a block coming around in the reverse, then you're not going to be able to have success on the play. That time he just shivered Joe Ask out of the way like it was nothing.
Brad Ford, one of 7 defensive backs to check in for Detroit on this 3rd and 9. Hostetler goes to a wide open Hobbs over the middle. Good enough for a first down. And Malone on the tackle.
Earlier in the quarter with Tim Brown, and now we saw it again with Hobbs.
Hostetler to throw on first down. In and out of the hands of James Jett. A ball that should have been caught. And the way Jett can run, it would have been 6 points.
Yeah, but there's been a ball.
First incomplete pass thrown by Hostetler today. He get hit on his first 6, and he'll try the screen to Napoleon Kaufman out of the backfield. And read beautifully by the Lion defense. Maybe a yard for Shea. So we've reached the end of the opening quarter in Oakland. The only score, Hostetler to Jett for a touchdown, and will return. Oakland leading 7-0.
Dirt is coming up through the turf.
3rd down and 10 for the Raiders. Hostetler marking the signs, good protection, and drops it off to Daryl Hobbs, but a terrific open field tackle made by number 38, Ryan Stewart, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, so the Raider drive stalls.
Good job by Stewart there. It's one thing to get the ball caught on you, but Stewart, alert of the down and distance, just makes the tackle, gets his team off the field.
So for the first time today, the Raiders have to punt. And that means Jeff Gossett. Glenn Milburn, a homecoming of sorts, played collegiately in Palo Alto, California at Stanford. And he stands at his own 10. This is returnable.
If he can get around this guy, he'll have some room.
And he'll step out of bounds at the 19-yard line. So a 38-yard punt, just a 4-yard return for the former Stanford Cardinal. And we'll be back to Oakland in a moment. First and 10, Detroit, 7-0 Raiders. And the Lions start at their own 19. What a great, got interception. Picked off, and racing for the end zone is James Trapp. And he's inside the 10, down to the 7. Looked like Herman Moore lost his footing. Nearly made the reception from his knees, but Trapp was there.
We talked about the footing on the field. The field looked horrible when I was down there. A lot of guys slipping, and it looked as though Herman Moore slipped there. James Trapp, a guy that's been under a lot of heat around here for his style of play the last couple of years, makes a play. Herman's on his knees, and the ball somehow finds its way into James Trapp's gut. Boy, that's just great ball awareness and concentration. He can hold on to that ball.
Terry McDaniel and Trapp on the coverage of Herman Moore, so the Lions have turned it over. Ball at the 9-yard line for the Raiders. First and goal. Already a 7-0 lead for Oakland and looking for more. Rick Cunningham, an additional tight end, is checked in, and the give is to Aska. Close to the 5.
Boy, look at Pepper Johnson. Pepper Johnson back in that old mode of the Giants days, talking a little yin-yang out there. He said, that's my style. That's how I get myself fired up.
Well, we had a long chat with Pepper Johnson yesterday. 32 years old and returning home to Detroit, Michigan. Second and goal. Aska and Davison, fresh off the practice squad, have checked in for the Raiders. Hostetler.
No.
No. In and out of the hands of Tim Brown at the back of the end zone. So now third and goal.
A nice double coverage on Tim Brown, and Van Malone almost lost it. Once again, watch the pressure. Porsche working outside on big Lincoln Kennedy. He's got time to get it off. See, watch inside here. That's Van Malone right there. Brown just sneaks on the outside of him. Malone was frozen on Hostetler a little bit too long, and they almost had 6.
3 receiver set. Brown, Jet, and Hobbs on this third and goal from the 6. Now Hostetler says timeout. So a big play for the Raiders, and Hostetler didn't like what he saw. So the Raiders spend their first time out of the half. We'll be back for a third and goal play in a moment.
I want you to watch closely. Terry McDaniel, 36, is going to come over the top of Herman Moore, but watch how Trapp catches the ball. I mean, boy, if that isn't an early Christmas present, I don't know what is.
So third down and goal. Brown and Hobbs, the wideouts for the Raiders. Brown in motion. Ball at the 6. Hostetler short drop up top and overthrew a wide open Jerome Davison.
And here they go. Here they go. They got a nice one going now. I think what Wisniewski's doing is infectious. That's Barrett Robbins, the center. He's starting to get into it. Then we saw Gogan getting into it.
Well, that has long been a trademark of Oakland Raider, Los Angeles Raider football.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's Los Angeles. I think it's Oakland Raider football. I tell you what, that's what it is. And you know, the move back up here, a lot of people have talked about getting that feeling back, getting that attitude back. And that's a huge overthrow by Hostetler. I mean, they have to settle for the field goal now. He had the man wide open.
Well, this ball will be spotted by the holder Gossett at the 14-yard line.
Set the play to 5 seconds. 5 seconds on the plate.
Well, they're going to reset it to 5 seconds, and when the whistle blows, the Raiders better be ready to go, or they're going to back them up. So a 24-yard field goal try by Cole Ford, who's hit on 5 of 7 during the season. And now making 6 of 8.
Every single play, they're fighting, and they got a flag down. Here they go again. This is the game that the Lions cannot be forced into, because this is what the Raiders have traditionally done best. To start the after the whistle stuff, especially when they're ahead. This is their game. That's how they play.
Mike Perry, our referee.
Against the offense, number 66, was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So wipe off the 3 points.
That's Gogan. Gogan has to be up on that line of scrimmage.
So now it was a 24-yard field goal attempt. Well, back up the Raiders 5 yards. It'll turn into a 29-yard try.
And we talk about the penalties once again. Here it is. You know, the last 3 years, like, that's not bad enough. But then, you know, they're right on course this year to go back into that tank.
Pass it to Holder for the kicker, and from 29 yards away, he bangs it through. So the Raiders take advantage of the interception made by James Trapp. Cash in with 3 points, and here with 13:02 to go until halftime, a 10-0 Oakland lead. Well, coming up, well, there you get a look at where the new grass is.
You know, you can tell, you know, they haven't done a real good job of sodding this in. You can see it. You can clearly see the outline, and even the dirt starting to bleed through the grass.
Well, Snoopy, a big football fan, enjoying today's football game between the Detroit Lions and Oakland Raiders. Snoopy will co-pilot the MetLife blimp of NFL games throughout the season. So great to have Snoopy with us. Ron Pitts has always been a big Snoopy fan.
Yeah, but see, the only thing about that, next year he'll want more money, and he'll hold out. Snoopy will hold out on you, believe me. People don't think he will, but he will hold out for more money.
Milburn and Richard Woodley waiting back. Raiders already in front, 10-0 here in the second quarter. Milburn at the goal line. Finds a hole, breaks a tackle. And out to the 27-yard line is Milburn, pushed out of bounds by Kenny Shedd.
Look at here, that's Detroit's first 3 possessions. And obviously none of this is good, including that last part. And they've gotten away from Barry Sanders. They started to throw the ball a little bit more, thinking Scott Mitchell was comfortable. And that last play really wasn't his fault, the interception by James Trapp. I think they got to go back to Barry, get him in the game.
Sanders alone, setback. And he is met immediately after the slight delay in getting it started. Biekert was there, the middle linebacker out of Colorado, and Mike Jones is checked back in after walking out a moment ago.
That's called playing the run on the way to rushing the quarterback. There he is, 52. See, he's going on the rush, but then at the last minute, he realizes it's a handoff and plays the run. That's a good job by the defensive coordinator, Whittingham, for lining guys up and saying, okay, we're going to rush Mitchell, but be aware of Barry Sanders at the same time.
2nd and 12 to the far side. Johnny Morton, his first reception of the afternoon, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Johnny Morton, a guy that has not been real happy earlier in the season as we look at John Whittingham, the defensive coordinator. Of course, he took over for John Fox, who left earlier in the season, in preseason. People still, Fred Whittingham, people still kind of up in the air about what that was about. He just kind of all of a sudden walked out. And the players are very happy with what Whittingham has been able to do for him up front.
3rd and 5. Dangerous throw by Mitchell. He had an eye on Perryman, but almost directly in the way was Rob Fredrickson. That should have been the 2nd interception thrown by Mitchell today.
Fredrickson right there. You're not going to get a better beat on a football than this right here. And if there's any criticism of Mitchell in the past, it's been that he looks a hole in where he's going to throw. Well, wherever he was looking, Fredrickson had it. He just didn't make the catch.
Boyles on the punt for the 3rd time today. Darryl Hobbs stands back at his own 20. Short kick. Hobbs will let it bounce. And then he'll grab a hold of it, and it's immediately punched right there by Greg Jeffries. After the bounce, a 50-yard punt, no return. So the Raiders already leading 10-0. Will get another chance. Pretty much a daily occurrence here in Northern California. 10-0 Raiders. 11:36 to play until halftime. Hostetler looking for the big one. Wide open receiver is Kenny Shedd, and it's overthrown.
McNeil totally caught in his back pedal, frozen, and is way behind. All Hostetler has to do is put a little air under this ball. I mean, the protection, once again, nobody's near Haas. But you can see McNeil there. He's a good 6 yards behind. And at that point, McNeil concedes. He says, hey, if you're going to catch it, you got it. Because I'm beat. There is a DB guide.
See the Detroit Lions offense next to nothing thus far. Hostetler's hit on 8 of 12. And the pitch to Aska. Penalty flags littered the field. First big
Ball's
out for Aska, and the ball is loose. Ryan McNeil there to cover it up. But was there early movement on the Detroit side of the football?
It looked like Washington, and if that's the case, that ball is going to stay in the Raiders' hands.
Boy, the Lions, the sloppy team today. Turnovers, key penalties already.
It's the same thing we talked about in the open, and they keep doing it.
Offside on the defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
It's Keith Washington, a second-year pro out of UNLV.
Got to give the credit to Hostetler, but a big mistake by Washington. And, you know, that's key. There's the turnover right there. Great hit by Malone coming up to make the play. They would have had the ball in the red area.
And Aska getting the featured back roll for the second straight week. Has put it on the ground twice already.
Exactly.
Although that one there nullified.
And I think that's the reason the Raiders are going away from their run game a little bit.
Number 5, Aska again, this time hangs on to the football, and he's to the 25. It'll bring up third down.
The Lions were very aware of who they had to stop coming into this game and what they would try to do. You know, they have the speed on the outside, and the Jets and the Hobbs and all those guys. But they knew with what Aska did last week and Napoleon Kaufman, that shutting down the run would be key. And in spite of the injuries, I think they've done a pretty darn good job. They've made the Raiders say, hey, let's rethink this. Maybe we ought to put this thing in the air.
Well, you see what the Raiders have done this season on third down. And very good today. This time a 3rd and 4. Hostetler dumps it off to Brown. It looks as though it's good enough for a first down. It'll depend on the spot. There to wrap him up and throw him down is Van Malone. And still no indication. They may. Yes, it is a Raider first down.
See, the Lions are between a rock and a hard place because you've got that kind of speed the Raiders have on the outside. They've got 2 guys that have been involved in that NFL's fastest man competition. You have to protect yourself deep, back up to short. And that's why you're seeing the short stuff wide open. They're going to give the Raiders that because that's going to take time to go down the field, and they don't have confidence they can do that. The big play stuff on the perimeters will get you killed faster than anything.
Fake to Kaufman. Davison out of the backfield makes a reception. And he's tackled out of bounds at the 38-yard line by Antonio London.
This is Raider ball with a West Coast accent on it. The dink and dunk. And there's a big reason for that. Haas has taken a lot of hits over the last few years. They've had to restructure this offense so he can get rid of the ball faster. They did that 2 years ago. It didn't really work. This year, I think they're starting to do more of it, and they're having some success with it. But the key is keeping the pressure off him. Haas has been on the ground very little so far.
Second and 2 from the 38. Again, good protection and a strike to Tim Brown crossing midfield. And he's tackled from behind at the 45-yard line again by Antonio London. Boy, Hostetler, you brought it up, Ronnie, getting great protection, and his passes have been on target as now Brown begins to limp off.
Maybe we can tell what happened here. Brown's just going to come and hook in right in front of McNeil. And like I said, the onus and the concern is getting deep. You see, McNeil's not even in the picture. They are worried about the deep threat to speed. And well, they should be.
8th first down for the Raiders. Pump fake, and then Hostetler loses the football. It's picked up by Napoleon Kaufman. They're saying he was down. They're saying that Hostetler was down at the 47, tackled by Robert Porcher.
Finally, the Lions get some heat on Hostetler. Porcher, right here, 91. He's going to fight through the block. That's the rookie working on him, Dudley. He can't hold him. Boy, I don't know if the man is down. That might be Raider ball still there running.
No sack. An incomplete pass.
And that has been one of the criticisms of Ricky Dudley, the tight end. And I know, Tom, that's one of your Ohio State boys. I'm not talking to him. But they're asking him now to play basically tackle and do some blocking.
Boy, of all
that's
things,
hard.
Ronnie, they ruled that, pardon me,
I don't understand that one. I don't understand that one.
So 2nd and 10, it's not a sack.
Unless Haas's arm was in motion.
Delay to Kaufman, big hole. And close to yet another Oakland first down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. He'll move the chains.
Every time Kaufman makes a run, he gets up and he points to the sideline and he starts complaining. I mean, this guy wants to break everything. This is what happens when you've been passing the ball a lot. They got a perfect seam right up the middle of the field. And you see the referee getting away back there. But I tell you, this guy, every time he gets the ball, he's good news. And that's good news for the Raiders to see Tim Brown back in the game.
8th play of the drive. Hostetler to throw on first down. Out of the backfield, it's Davison who's playing a large role today, the rookie out of Arizona State. More on him in a moment. Right now, McDonald's Game Break. And James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Tom, Ron only liked part of Terrell Buckley's return for a score. See if he likes this punt return here by Amani Toomer. 2nd punt return of the season for a score. This one, a 65-yard deal. And the Giants on top of the Eagles, 10-3 in New York. That in a second. Back to Tom and Ron.
Well, the Giants have won the last 2 games, and what a win that would be for Dan Reeves. 10-0 Raiders, 7:08 to play here in the 2nd quarter. On a 2nd and 5. Again, Hostetler, a short drop, far side. Reception made by Jet, first down as he's pushed out of bounds at the 21.
As long as the Lions secondary stays back, the Raiders are going to take what they got, and that's the short outs. We've seen it all the way down the field. That time, Jet just running the quick 5-yard out. You can't stop the play. You really can't. Even if you're up man-to-man coverage tight, it's hard to stop that play. You almost have to just swallow it, give it to him, and then maybe later on think about changing your coverage. That's Jim Eddy, the defensive coordinator for the Lions.
Eddy, the last 3 seasons, working with the linebackers, the defensive backs in Dallas. His first year with Detroit. First down, and the give is to Napoleon Kaufman. He got a yard.
It's going to be a hard day if you keep trying to run Napoleon Kaufman in there. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't do it. He's a tough guy. You look at him, he's got those big guns. Got tattoos all over the place. And there's a guy that's like 5'9", 180 pounds. But you have to keep him on the perimeter. That's where he has his success. And you see what happens when you give Haas some protection. He can be effective.
Boy, Hostetler has been terrific. An injury-plagued 95 after big seasons in 93 and 94 with the Raiders.
They're trying to call timeout. Benny Blades is trying to call timeout. Actually, that was Van Malone.
They didn't get it. And a quick throw to Hobbs, and he tiptoes along the sideline, gets to the 10, and that means another Oakland first down.
Yeah, look at this right here. There's Van Malone. I mean, he's going nuts. He's trying his best. The ref is right there. I don't know. He just should have said, hey, timeout.
Maybe you go up and pinch him or something.
Maybe you slap him, do something. Hey, time out.
No, don't talk about that slap stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Not these days. Yeah.
That was Brian Cox and Roberto Alomar.
Cox took his helmet off and watched the field goal last week.
First and goal. This is Kaufman. Tried to turn the corner. Couldn't do it. He's tackled at the 8-yard line, a gain of 2. Again, London along with Blades and Johnson in on the tackle.
I think they got a dilemma on what they're going to do with the backs. They got 4 good ones. We talked about that. Kind of reminds you of when Marcus was here and Bo Jackson was here. You know, where are they going to throw?
Well, Ricky Dudley, the odd man out in that equation. He is the first-round pick tight end. Well, now they've brought in a second tight end, Rick Cunningham, for additional blocking for Ascot. He's met at the 5. And Malone, Upper Johnson, we've called his name a great deal. So it'll bring up 3rd and goal. Hobbs and Brown will check back in for Oakland.
That's Joe Bugle right there, the offensive coordinator. Joe Bugle has his thing. He likes to call his guys snot blowers. Said everybody's got to block. You got to block so hard you blow snot. Receivers included.
That's a pleasant thought.
That's sex appeal.
15th play of the drive. 3 wide receivers in for the Raiders on a 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. Brown in motion. Haas a short drop. Lobs it into the air. Broken up by Malone and nearly intercepted by Ryan McNeil.
That is the advantage of having a tight end 6'6" on your roster. Watch Dudley right here, 83. I mean, this is the first rounder from Ohio State. He's going to work the back of the end zone. Look, nobody's back there. Defenses are so worried about getting across the plane that they don't realize people can stand in the back of the end zone. Excellent play by Van Malone.
And Haas just a little late going.
He is late with the ball. And a little high. I mean, if you overthrow Ricky Dudley at 6'6", you need to come down a little bit.
23-yard field goal. High snap, but handled well by Gossett, and Ford is good through the uprights. So 3:52 to go until halftime, and the Raiders have opened up a 13-0 lead. Getting off here through the first quarter plus, and Detroit has been blank. 13-0 Oakland in front.
Yeah, it's about time for them to start thinking about taking off. But you know, their game plan coming in here, because they knew with the injuries and they knew it was going to be tough and all that, is to stay close. They're not, by no means, they're not out of this thing, but they have to get the ball on the other side of the 50, start generating something.
Ford has kicked very well today, and he's done it yet again. Milburn at the 1, juggles the ball, and he's in trouble. Tackled at his own 6. And the first man down the field, Jerome Davison. He has been on the practice squad the entire year. He's already remained a reception or 2 out of the backfield with injuries to Fenner and, of course, Harvey Williams. He's out of Arizona State, so maybe a little additional enthusiasm as the Sun Devils are rolling.
This is huge right now for the Raiders and very crucial for Detroit to get out of this hole. I mean, this is a kiss of death field position-wise.
3:43 to go.
He's checking off.
Sanders escapes one tackler, but can't go much further than that. Mike Jones there to stop him. Well, again, our Aflac trivia question. How many brother combinations are currently coaching in the NFL? And there are 4 brother combinations currently. Marty and Kurt Schottenheimer in Kansas City. David and Mike Shula, Cincinnati and Tampa. Norv and Ron Turner, and of course that man, Wayne Fonts, joined by his brother John. 2nd and 10. Incomplete on the slant to Moore. Well, the danger now, Ronnie, all of a sudden you have 3:02 left. It's 3rd down and 10. Though you know the Lions are going to throw the ball. If they fail, the Raiders are going to get it back in great field position.
Yeah, and you know, a guy who had a lot to do with that last play right there, Jerry Ball, the former Detroit Lion. He's down inside looking over Kevin Glover. You know those guys have been at it a lot in practice, playing together. They know each other very well. Ball may be playing better than Chester McLaughlin right now. A lot of people think he should be starting.
3rd and 10. Again, the slant to Moore, but not enough for a first down. McLaughlin actually dropping back into coverage and one more from behind.
Yeah, you picked that up. Chester McLaughlin playing a little strong safety back there. That was nice. There he is, Chester McLaughlin. Now, he's going to drop back into coverage and actually make the tackle. Hey, there's nothing to it. Just drop back. He's got a little sweet back pedal going there, and then make the hit. And that's right, Tom Brenneman. You called that out. You picked that up.
No. I'm not going to take credit. We have help here.
That's all that baseball stuff, man. You came and picked that out. I like that.
Well, with 2:25 to go until halftime, Royals has 4 and juggles the ball, and it was nearly blocked. Amazing he was able to get it off, and now Hobbs juggles at the other end and is able to cover it up close to midfield.
Boy, if it's not by the great block by number 50 Morton on Corey Schlesinger, he's going to have a chance to pick that ball up.
It's like trying to hold on to a greased pig.
The snap looked pretty good. Royals just loses his concentration.
Well, we've got a penalty flag, as you see the near block that came down late on the far side of the field. And I have to believe it's against Detroit. Yes, it is. And you would think the Raiders would decline this penalty. They're going to get it in midfield.
Absolutely. You're sitting in midfield. Take the ball.
An eligible player downfield on the kickers. 5-yard penalty is declined. First down.
Yeah, as soon as the punter drops the ball, hey, the guys blocking for him don't know that the ball has been dropped. They just wait a certain amount of counts and they go downfield. Yeah, you think this doesn't have anything to do with why it's 13-0, the start of the field position. Raiders almost starting at midfield every single time. The Lions are sub-20 at their starting.
Now the Raiders have 2 timeouts remaining. 2:11 to play until halftime, and Oakland already a 13-0 lead. Three receivers to the near side, and Hostetler will drop it off to Haskell out of the backfield. And tripped up.
Oh, great open field tackle.
Yeah, Ryan McNeil, and that'll bring us down to the 2-minute warning. So a second down for the Raiders when we come back at midfield. Oakland has dominated thus far, a 13-0 lead.
They know they have speed and they're using it. They're taking their 3 wide receivers here and they're blowing them all up the field to clear out for underneath. And what that does is that makes the secondary have to get deep. They have to honor this, but McNeil makes a good play right there. But look at these guys. I mean, you got 2 guys standing at least 15 yards back behind the receivers, waiting for the play.
3 receivers again check in. Brown at the bottom of your screen on a 2nd and 8. Ball in midfield with 2 minutes left and a delay. And met immediately Antonio London. Boy, what a tackle that was by London. We've called his name a great deal today as he stopped Kaufman.
I mean, that is just a shot. London, a guy coming out of college who did a lot of pass rushing, and they said he had to improve on his run ability. Well, I tell you what, you talk about getting a good hit and guessing right. They send him right in that gap, and he makes the play. And Kaufman is not going to be able to take too many more of those type of hits, not at his size.
Clock under a minute 30. Raiders with 2 timeouts. A 3rd and 11. Hobbs in motion, and Hostetler, good protection. Has an open receiver. Jet inexplicably coming back into the middle of the field. He has a first down, but a flag is thrown in late. That could be a face mask against Pepper Johnson. We'll see. Pepper claiming that he was held. And again by Carey, our referee.
Looked like Pepper got him on the head before the tackle.
First down, face mask, against the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Boy, and they gave Pepper the flagrant one. Now he's coming across to make the tackle. Yeah, he gets right on the side of the face mask. He did get it. That's part of the helmet.
And it looked like he got a little of the jersey too.
Boy, that's tight.
Boy,
maybe he
like,
didn't. Tom, like you said, maybe he didn't get that. I saw Jet's head go around, but maybe he didn't get the face mask.
Looked like he had him locked up around the collarbone, shoulder pad area, and that was what Pepper was trying to say to the official. Well, nonetheless, the penalty moves it down to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders with 1:07 left in the half. Hostetler, short drop, fired, and in and out of the hands of Jet. Did he eventually hang on? Yes, he did. It's to the 14. Jet, his 6th reception of the game.
That time they ran quick slants. You know, I don't know if I'm watching the Oakland Raiders or the 49ers. I mean, this is quick passes, 3-step drop. Maybe Hostetler will go on the other side of the bay.
45 seconds left until halftime. Hostetler lots of room in front of him. Elects to drop it off to Kaufman, and he does not get out of bounds. Raiders have 2 timeouts left. The ball at the 9, and that's a first down. Timeout by the Raiders. Goal for the Raiders. 35 seconds remaining in the half. Hostetler in trouble. Has Kaufman wide open. And this time he'll go to the end zone. Did he get in? Touchdown, Napoleon Kaufman. Looked like Kaufman even fooled Ryan Stewart, the rookie. Stewart perhaps thought that Kaufman was headed out of bounds. He was going to the end zone.
Raiders, everybody out of the backfield. They left nobody in to protect Hostetler. And they're covered downfield. He makes a great throw, finds the outlet. And when your outlet is Kaufman, down this close, you got to believe he's going to punch it in.
Ford looks to make it a 20-0 Raider lead and does. Napoleon Kaufman perpetually in fast forward.
Watch the end zone. Hostetler has nobody to throw the ball to. But once again, the protection for the most part is good. Wheels around and finds Kaufman. And now he just uses his speed and he gets the ball across the plane. His shoulder hits that pylon, but it doesn't matter. He's in. Watch the job they do on Hank Thomas. They try to do a scrape game. They tried to crisscross there. They pick it up. Once again, like we said, there's nobody to throw to, or at least Haas didn't see him in the end zone and throws to the outlet. Let's watch Dudley. Ricky Dudley here working the same pattern as before. Now he's open for a split second. Pepper looks him up and does a good job of covering him, but hey, throw the ball out to that man there and let him go. Like I said in the open, I like this guy. I think they got to give him the ball more, whether it's throw it to him, hand it to him, whatever.
You ought to be his agent.
Yeah, I'd ask 20% plus residuals. I wonder if he has an agent.
He was in a lot of movies.
Jerry Maguire is his agent. That's his agent.
27 seconds left until the half. A half dominated by the Oakland Raiders. Milburn from the 2.
Woo. Boy, Milburn
out to the 30-yard line.
Talking about guys who look like they're going to go every time they touch the ball. Milburn has been what they hope will be a good replacement for Mel Gray.
Well, Scott Mitchell threw 4 interceptions in the opening weekend against Minnesota in a loss. His last 3 games, however, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, and nearly 900 yards. He's done next to nothing in the first half today. Mitchell steps up and throws to
Boy, did he cross the line? To me, it looked like he crossed the line.
Right. He did.
I mean, he stepped up, and up before you knew it.
Illegal forward pass by Mitchell, and you brought it up at the beginning. Mitchell, for whatever reason, he has come into his own and has had some terrific games as a quarterback. However, in a hostile environment, a little bit different ball game.
Yeah, he hasn't proven that he can go into a tough place and make the team go down the field. Watch the coverage down the field. We talked about Detroit giving credit for speed, but look at the speed credit here. I mean, you got 3 defenders way downfield.
Well, you have to believe Mitchell at this point may take a knee, and the Lions try to regroup at halftime.
Yeah, I think that would be a smart move.
Well, they have 3 receivers. Moore, Perryman, Morton. They're just going to give it to Barry Sanders. And he's stopped by Mike Jones at the 29. And the clock ticks down, ending the first half. The silver and black faithful come to their feet in Oakland as the Raiders lead Detroit 20-0. JB and Terry will be along with the Dakars Khakis halftime report following these messages. So Hansen kick it away. Low line drive. Carl Kidd from his own 3. Another good field position starting point for the Raiders as he's out close to the 35, pushed out of bounds by Ron Rivers.
Boy, great hit there by Scott Kolkowski. And he came down in that wedge and just rocked somebody's world. And now the only problem, he's got to line up and play regular defense. He's not used to doing that.
All the injuries to this defensive unit by Detroit, and it's showing through the first half.
Yeah, it's showing the most, I think, in not getting the pressure Hostetler, and everybody thus far has been able to get pressure on him.
Davison and Aska open in the backfield. Play fake to Aska. Hostetler steps out of trouble. Nothing but green grass in front of him and slides close to a first down at the 43.
See, it's the same thing as the first half. Hostetler keeps sidestepping. You know, he doesn't have to really avoid anybody in terms of being right in his face. He just keeps sidestepping. And the Lions look like they're getting people there. Nice move there by Shane Bonham, but he can't make the tackle. And then now he just kind of steps up, and I think that has a lot to do with the pound difference up front. I mean, they have to fight to get there, and by the time they get there, they may be too tired to make the tackle.
Second and a yard, and it looked like Aska was stopped short of the first down by Robert Porcher. He only needed to get 2 yards, but didn't get there.
Here we talked about the pound difference from the Raiders offensive line to Lions defensive line. You know, that's mainly to do because of the injuries. And with Luther Ellis out of there, you don't have those big bodies. And you know, I was talking to John Tierlink, the defensive line coach for Detroit, before the game, and he says, we're a little worried about them laying on us, mashing on us. That's what we're going to try to do, a lot of different things and run games and schemes up front. But if it gets to a mash game, they could have the upper hand.
Third and a yard, extra mash up front with Cunningham, but Hostetler is going to go the long ball to Jet. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Jet. "58 yards, Hostetler to Jet."
You want to know what a 4-1 40-yard dash looks like in world-class speed? Check it out. Van Malone has not a chance in the world. I mean, that is the difference between a guy that can run that fast and guys that can't. It was never close. And then you add a great play action on top of that. The secondary never made up the distance that James Jett got coming down the line.
Well, Jett did not have a touchdown through the first 6 weeks, and he has 2 here today. So the Speedster out of West Virginia certainly has a high-flying Raider offense in the gear today.
I mean, to look at that from our level, Tom, he was running so fast. I mean, James Jett won the NFL fastest man competition this year.
And the extra point by Cole Ford is good. So it takes the Raiders just over a minute and a half to tack on 7 more. Jett and the Raiders. Hostetler, the big play, 27-0. All silver and black on the home turf here today. 27-0 Raiders. And Ford kicks it away to a waiting Glenn Milburn. He will not dare bring this one out.
Let's go back to this touchdown. Now there's Jett right there. They say the difference between Olympic class sprinters and people that aren't Olympic class sprinters is what happens about the 10-yard line. What do they do when they get 10 yards off the line? That's the difference. He's at top speed once he hit 10 yards. I mean, Corey Raymond, it's not even close. He ran that so fast.
Nobody's going to catch him.
92 Olympic gold medalist in the 400-meter relay. Just smokes everybody.
Mitchell throws complete to Brett Perriman, his first catch of the afternoon, out to the 25. 6-yard gain. Well, James Jett, just to get back to him for a moment, last year for the entire season, 179 yards. Today, Ronnie, 112 in one game.
And you saw the great play action, and the safeties never even had a chance. The ability to be at full speed 10 yards into your route is the difference.
Herman Moore having a tough time staying on his feet today. Made that reception from his knees and looks to be about a half a yard shy of a first down to the 30. Boy, how in the world could everything go so south on this Detroit offense? Number 1 in the NFL a season ago. They're number 8 in the NFL coming into play today, yet they've managed a ground total of 75 yards.
Boy, and that, that's with Barry Sanders. If Barry Sanders isn't healthy, now you can look at that and take it a little bit differently. But that's the value of keeping him off the field and holding on to the ball on offense.
It is a first down, and again, Herman Moore able to make the catch, pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Terry McDaniel. Well, there's still enough time. We've seen Detroit throw out points in a hurry.
Wind it, Mike.
Well, think of the speed that the Raiders have in their secondary. They got James Trapp. Now, James Trapp and James Jett ran together in the NFL's fastest man competition.
And this year, Trapp won it. He beat Jett.
Trapp won it this year. Okay, then they got Terry McDaniel on the other side. He can run. They don't have too many slow guys in their secondary.
Mitchell on second down.
Throws
and should have been. Nearly was intercepted by Terry McDaniel. Herman Moore, the intended receiver.
They keep running those little stop routes. And right about now, Terry McDaniel is dialed in on what's getting ready to happen. The distance between the time he stops and closes on the ball. And Herman actually does a great job of preventing him from intercepting the ball. Herman recognized that he didn't have a chance to catch it. He became the defender and made the play. We saw Fred Whittingham a second ago, defensive coordinator for the Raiders, and that was Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Lions.
Well, on a 3rd and 5, Mitchell wants timeout. 11:31 to go in the third quarter. Raiders 27 and the Lions nothing. 27-0 Raiders. 11:31 to play here in the third quarter. A 3rd and 5 for the Lions, trying to get something started. They've been blanked on third downs by the Raider D today. Mitchell, good protection, wide open receiver. Brett Perryman hangs on. Did he? No. They're going to say, well, we're still. Wow. They're saying he did not hang on. Perriman appeared to have it, got jarred by Lorenzo Lynch.
You think the fact that they were on the Raiders sideline had anything to do with that? Let's see if he comes down and demonstrates possession. Does he tuck it away? No. See, they are saying, and I think it's a good call, he does not firmly have possession of the ball. You see the way it was coming out of his arm right there at the end? That does not demonstrate possession to the official who was standing right there.
Royals punts it away to Hobbs, who's tripped up by Tom Beer at the 30-yard line. 41-yard punt and a 5-yard return by Hobbs. Well, later tonight, game 4 down tonight. No baseball over there today. Pretty empty. They're all rooting for the silver and black.
There's an A's fan.
Yeah, been a while since they've sniffed the playoff. Of course, Tony La Russa, the manager of St. Louis, long-time manager here in Oakland with the A's. 1st and 10, Hostetler drops it off to Haska out of the backfield. And he picks up close to 6. Boy, Joe Haska, we had a chance to visit with him following that 136-yard rushing performance against the Jets. 24 years old, born in St. Croix of the Virgin Islands. Came to live with an older sister in the United States in Putnam City, Oklahoma at 15 years old. After suffering an accident as a young child in the Virgin Islands, cannot see, completely blind in his right eye. Well, he's overcome that, the experience of moving to a new country, and here he is out of Central Oklahoma in the National Football League. And what a terrific young man. He gets the call and maybe gets a couple of yards.
You know, outside of being a tough guy and a guy that can run and a great tackle breaker and all that, I like the fact he doesn't wear anything in his arms. Kind of reminds you of Mark Van Eegen. You know, I like to see those arms get dirty and the chalk get on them. Boy, how many times did we watch that? Mark Van Eegen all dirty and grungy and grinding and all that kind of stuff, and just playing football. I mean, he's a Raider in that aspect. He just plays down and dirty, nothing fancy. Gets the job done.
He had never seen.
Look, he's bleeding right there. I mean, that's Raider football there. That's great. Al Davis is in the booth. He's loving all that.
3rd and 2. And
wide open.
Yep. Ricky Dudley He had 2 touchdowns last week. Will he get to the end zone here? Yes, sir. Hostetler is down at the other end of the field.
And that's Rob Jenkins down too.
A 62-yard touchdown to Dudley.
Once again, Hostetler dances from the fire and unloads one. They just can't quite get to him. The line doing an excellent job of giving him protection. Robert Jenkins on the left side, Lincoln Kennedy on the other side, Wisniewski, Robbins, Gogan, and now you see why the Raiders drafted Ricky Dudley. He's turning on that 4.4 speed there, and that's a man that's 6'6", 250 pounds. Now Dudley, they criticized him a lot here until last week. He had not turned it on. And a lot of people in the organization took it on themselves because they felt they were using him too much as a blocker and not letting him go up the field. And that's one area the Raiders had wanted to get better at in the middle of the field, using the tight ends. They've always had great tight ends, from the Caspers to the Christensen to the Raymond Chesters. They've always been able to hurt you between the hashes. Now it looks like with Ricky Dudley, they have a chance to get back to that. And not to mention what it does to secondaries in terms of not being able to double cover you on the outside.
Well, for Hostetler, 22 of 28, 259 yards, and his 4th touchdown of the game. He walked off the field under his own power, appeared to be all right. They're going to just rewrap the knee, which of course has been a point of contention for Hostetler early in the season. In fact, Hostetler declined being interviewed as our Fox crew rolled in over the weekend, apparently upset with what Howie Long and Ronnie Lott had to say.
They wouldn't talk to us. Yeah. Haas wouldn't talk to us. Wisniewski wouldn't talk to us. So maybe they had their game faces on. Who knows?
Well, 3 of Hostetler's last 4 completions have gone for touchdowns. The Raiders look like the team everybody thought they'd be when the season got underway.
Well, it was the turnovers. The penalties, they got rid of half the problem today. You know, the penalties are still there, but they haven't turned the ball over. And we knew this was going to be a tough nut for the Lions coming in here, because the Lions have not played well on the road in what we call a hostile environment. The Philadelphias, the Minnesotas, the Oaklands, against decent teams. And in spite of their record, the Raiders are a lot better than people think they are.
Well, Wayne Fontes and the Lions, their last 11 trips to California, to see the numbers on Hostetler. Coming into the state of California, the Lions have lost 10 of their last 11.
I mean, that's a Pro Bowl type game right there. I mean, you got to start thinking, when are you going to take him out?
Lions have been left in the dust. One team going forward, the other going backward, at least here at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. The Raiders. Ricky Dudley, his first touchdown of the game. 34-0 Oakland. Bird's eye view of today's game. The blimp contains over 70,000 cubic feet of helium, a lot like my partner on game days, and measures almost 50 yards in length, nose to tail. 34-0 Raiders. Boy, Ford has had
he is pounding
day.
that ball. That's back from the 30-yard line too. I mean, he's hammering it.
Let's go back to the touchdown to Dudley a moment ago.
Obviously a miscommunication in the Lions secondary. Now there's Dudley right there. He's going to come up the field and bend out this way. I want you to watch these two guys right here. There seems to be a problem in who had who. Whenever you get two guys together like that, something's wrong. And something's very right if you're a Raider fan seeing this. And they talk about Dudley's speed, running a 4.4. Nobody came close to him then.
First down, Mitchell to throw. Perryman makes a reception at the 35 and dives ahead of the 38. Well, Ronnie, if you're Mike White, 34-0 lead, 9:20 to play in the third, do you just pull Hostetler now?
I keep him out of the game. Absolutely. I think he would put the hat on, take the wristbands off, and relax. You know, I think that's like the fourth, fifth time they've run that little curl out, and McDaniel is getting closer and closer each time. He should have intercepted it. Rightly so. The Lions are in a hurry-up offense, but I think they got to run that hook and then send Herman up the field. Run a hook and go. I mean, they got to pull something out of the hat here.
Second down.
There it is.
And they send him down the field. Moore, that tremendous leaping ability, makes a grab at the 30.
There it is.
So I mean, Professor Pitts, good call.
You knew they were setting McDaniel up. And watch here, they want him to come on, bite up on that quick stuff, but McDaniel doesn't take it. That's the difference in being 6'4", 6'5". Goes up and snatches the ball over a shorter Terry McDaniel. Great coverage on the play. Good catch by Herman Moore.
First down, Lions threatening. There's Perriman. One-handed grab and steps out of bounds at the 11-yard line. First down, Detroit. By far and away the closest they've been to gathering a touchdown today.
Perriman, you know, he's had that knee injury and knee surgery last year. He came back this year, wasn't 100% right, and he was worried about it. And watching him today, it doesn't look like he's got full extension of that knee, but I tell you what, he's got full extension of that right hand. Excellent catch of Brett Perriman.
First and 10 at the 11. Mitchell.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Herman Moore.
Now, I don't know if you call it a slack up by the Raiders defensively. I don't know if you call it the Lions just getting down to business, feeling the sense of urgency and doing what they should have been doing all day long. But maybe they need to stay up in the hurry-up offense. This is just a regular post pattern. McDaniel doesn't have the coverage. He slacks off. He expected help inside. More and more you see people working the outside part or the back part of the end zone when it gets down to the red area. Dan Land looked like he had that back part of the field.
Jason Hanson on for the extra point, trying to make it a 34-7 Oakland lead. And the point after is good.
Let's see if Haas does stay off the field now.
Well, there's lots of time left. 7:51 to play in the third. Raiders in front of Herman Moore and the Lions, 34-7. Barry Sanders, very quiet afternoon. The story has been Jeff Hostetler. The question is, do you bring Hostetler back now that the Lions have scored?
If the Lions don't score there, you don't bring him back. But because they scored, and because they scored so quick, for the sake of continuity, if nothing else, and keeping your team in the right frame of mind, you have to bring him back on the field.
Now Hostetler, the helmet on, was warming up on the sideline as Jason Hanson throws a foot on the ball, and this is Carl Kidd from the goal line. Quick burst of speed by Kidd, and he brings it out to the 25.
You know, we keep talking about Scott Kowalkowski, who's also playing on the regular defense, but watch him take on the wedge here on this kickoff. I mean, you know, you got to have a lot of courage and a lot of Advil to do stuff like this.
First and 10.
He went one way and then got pushed the other way. It's like walking down into a New York subway.
Very good. You've been in a lot of those lately, have you?
Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, don't look for any of those out here, all right? This is the West Coast, pal.
Hostetler hands it off to Joe Askett, and he maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
I'm sure a lot of people back in Detroit are wondering why didn't the Lions go for two after that touchdown. I think that they're so far behind right now, Wayne Fontes just wants to ensure himself that he gets points when he can get them. Now, yeah, a PAT is not automatic, but you miss that, now it's even worse. You have to come back even more points.
Well, you get 5 touchdowns, and you win the game if the Raiders...
Yeah, but the problem has been number 15 and the offensive line. Those guys in black up front. They're giving him protection. The offense is working. It's keeping Barry Sanders off the football field.
Well, Dudley started in motion, and then Hostetler asked for timeout. The first spin by the Raiders here in the second half. Each team with 2 remaining. And we'd like to tell you about
this.
That's a good look. Who knows, they may make a guess at, well, we saw him in a movie. Darth Vader. Ooh. Halloween around the corner.
And he's got the glasses on too. I guess he needs them with those green eyes and everything. Welcome to Oakland.
Yeah, and your car is parked about a mile away from the stadium. Good luck getting back.
That's all right, pal. I got you escorting me back there.
34-7. Second down and 11. Hostetler fires into the flat, caught by Jerome Davidson. At about the 33, so it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Raiders with 6:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Well, we talked about it at the outset. Ron Pitts touching upon the miscues by the Raiders. But look what they've done today in both categories. 1 penalty the entire game, no turnovers. When the Raiders play like this, they're going to win a lot of football games this season.
And you know, you didn't know whether it was just shop talk when they talked to us about that, because every team wants to do that. But to come out and do it, and then on top of that, not have the big turnover, that says something. And now the Lions are going to get the ball. They need to go back in their hurry up and go back down the field. And I would expect Fred Whittingham, the defensive coordinator for the Raiders, to maybe go back to his old style of defense and keep it tight.
Well, that incompletion by Hostetler snaps a string of 7 completions consecutively. So with 6:05 to go here in the 3rd, and Oakland leading 34-7. Len Milburn awaits a punt from Jeff Gossett. And a delay of game penalty will go against the Raiders.
False start.
Carl Kidd moved.
Offense, number 46. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's Carl Kidd. He's a flyer out there. He decides to go early. And we just talked about the penalties, and here they go. Now, the Lions are going to get great field position most likely anyway. You move that ball back, it's going to even be any better. So if Milburn can get anything on this return, they're going to be sitting nice.
Well, Glenn had the 33-yard return, setting up a touchdown against Atlanta last week. Good punt by Gossett. Milburn at the 24. And not much room as he crosses the 30, brings it out to the 33. 52-yard boot by Gossett. And an 8-yard return by Milburn. We'll be back to Oakland in a moment. Standings updated through play today. Chicago losing, Minnesota a shocking defeat at the hands of Tampa Bay. Of course, Detroit losing here today, 34-7. The Niners and the Packers get together tomorrow night in Green Bay. First down for Mitchell and the Lions. And in and out of the hands of Herman Moore. Rob Fredrickson surprisingly staying step for step with Herman Moore there.
If you watch the Lions carefully, and this has been a knock on them from around the league, they're pretty predictable. They run pretty much the same type of routes, the same areas of the field. You don't see them pull anything unusual out. I mean, they got a reverse to Johnny Morton, which they try to run every now and then. But outside of that, you don't see much. Last week, I think Tom Moore did something that you need to see more. The flea flicker,
right?
And it was great.
Turned into a touchdown for Herman Moore. And Moore open here up along the sideline and makes a reception into Raider territory at the 48. First down, Lions.
Yeah, they did something different. They put Herman in motion, and now they're starting to run double cuts. We saw it earlier. They ran the double cut with Herman, and here it is again. He's going to go to the out. Fake, he's going to catch the out, now back up the field. Bad matchup for the Raiders. Fredrickson, a linebacker on Herman Moore.
Pump fake by Mitchell, throws to the near side. What a catch made by Perryman as he tiptoed along the sideline and brought it in one hand.
And look at Perryman laughing about it. You know, whatever Brett Perryman doesn't have as far as his knee, if he doesn't feel he's 100% and all that, he has in terms of catching the ball. I mean, that's the second catch he's made like that. He stops it with one hand and then catches it with the other. Here's a guy that sat out for a grand total of 1 day in training camp and then decided it wasn't worth it and came in.
Well, he looked like that second foot did not come down inbounds. Nonetheless, ruled a catch. And Metzelaars, a tight end, makes a reception on a second down throw and has another Lion first down, pushed out of bounds by James Trapp. Well, he did not get out of bounds. Clock continuing to roll.
Great dog.
To the 34.
Lions continue to hurry things up.
That's way overthrown.
And an eye on Johnny Mitchell. And good coverage by Lorenzo Lynch.
You know, here's a Perriman catch a few plays ago. We thought that it looked like a perfect catch. He got his feet in bounds. That's one. Yeah, the ref is standing there. He's right there.
.4:29 to play in the third quarter. Wayne Fontes and the Lions trailing the Raiders 34-7. Well, the Lions have the ball at the Raider 34. Wide open is Morton down the middle of the field and makes a reception inside the 10. They'll spot it at the 6. And again, Mitchell rushing the Lions up to the line of scrimmage. He wants points. They need points in a hurry.
And the Raiders are getting caught right in the middle of a substitution, which could be huge for Detroit. And nothing up front in terms of a pass rush for the Raiders.
Up top to Herman Moore. Who got it? Tangled up. Moore, touchdown. He wrestled it away from McDaniel. What a play made by Herman Moore.
Simultaneous catch. They're going to give it to the offense. And that was a great play by Terry McDaniel. I thought that he had intercepted the ball, and they're going to talk about it. No, they're going to let it go. Watch Herman Moore. They're going to go to the fade route. They're going to dump it over his head before McDaniel can turn around.
Never had control of the ball. Touchdown.
Well, they're saying the defender McDaniel never had control, Ronnie.
He had as much control as Herman did on the way down. Herman ripped it from him right there. They both got the football. Herman rips it away. It's a simultaneous catch. And Herman rips the ball away and rolls over and gets the score. Now that's 2 scores in quick time.
And the extra point tacked on by Hansen. All of a sudden, this rocking and rolling Oakland Alameda County Coliseum has been silenced. Granted, it's still a 20-point spread, but Detroit looks very much alive.
Right there. And like I said, the rule on that simultaneous catch, they're going to give that ball to the offense. And the fact that Herman Moore rolled over, ripped it out, came up with the ball, made his case even stronger. Boy, Herman Moore, how much does he mean to this offense right now? You talk about a guy on the way to perhaps maybe the best season that he's ever had by far.
Kenny Shedd takes the kickoff, and he's out across the 30, and pushed out of bounds to the 31, and a late flag is thrown.
There they go.
Down near midfield. We'll see what this is all about. The last possession when they were 3 and out to get the ball right back to Detroit. After the penalty, they started the 21, and Hostetler to Davison out of the backfield, who lost his footing and is able to get back up and push ahead to the 25.
I would expect the Raiders sooner.
Well, they have 14 rushes for just 27 yards in the game. And they will indeed hand it to Aska.
That's why they have
to run.
That's why they haven't gotten back to it. Well, they came on the blitz.
Hostetler steps up, throws through the hands of James Jett, who was wide open at the 40. So again, 3 and out for the Raiders, and Detroit with 2:41 to go.
They're going to turn the ball back over to the Lions. The Lions scored the last 2 touchdowns in 3 minutes.
Get just none of that right. That was nearly blocked. And Milburn takes the punt of the 35. He's going the wrong way. Turns it back upfield, spins out of trouble, and then hammered down at the 38-yard line. Folston on the tackle, 41-yard punt. And
look at the kicker.
Around the 4-yard return. Ball at the 39. And Mitchell, pump fake, in trouble.
Run it.
He throws through the hands of Herman Moore, who took a hit.
You know, if that's the case, Scott Mitchell just got to take off and run the football. He's trying to force it in between 3 defenders. You know, now Barry Sanders, his role has changed a bit. He is now a blocker. And so their whole game is on the pass, and that's what he's got to do, is step up and help Mitchell. And why Mitchell tried to go back to Moore here, I don't know. Look at all this room. Run the ball. First down marker's right there.
Mitchell steps up in the pocket, throws to Metzelaars underneath, and that's only about a 3-4 yard gain.
Well, you see,
making 3 straight touchdowns. Third down and batted down. Larry Brown going to get whistled for interference. He came over the shoulder of Perriman. I was just about to make the point that Larry Brown has played by far and away his best game as a Raider here today. He has kept Perriman quiet and Morton quiet.
Without a doubt.
And they're giving the Lions certainly the spirit that they can come back to win this game. First and 10 at midfield. Mitchell in trouble. And stays on his feet to throw. The completion made to Sanders, and they get about 4 or 5 yards. Well, Mitchell at 6'6", 230 pounds.
And they want to complain in the grasp. Boy, Chester McLaughlin got off the ball so fast it was unbelievable. Russell Maryland came in and made the sack. You see how fast McLaughlin got off? That was the key there. I mean, that just messed up everything in the front line. Now, I don't know. I think they have to call in the grasp. They talk about not getting quarterbacks hurt in the league and making all these rules, but then they let something like that slide.
Morton across the middle makes the first down reception, tackled at the 31 by Dan Land.
Crossing routes has become the key for this team right now. They used it with Herman Moore, and now right there, he's going to come across the underneath of the field. Watch what the linebackers do. As long as you have Barry Sanders in the play, in the game, you got to honor him. They're up waiting on Barry Sanders. They forget what's behind him.
Mitchell throws. Herman Moore contending that Terry McDaniel had interfered with him, but no flag.
Oh, what a call.
Delay to Sanders. He's inside the 20. Another Lions first down as the clock is under 30 seconds here in the third quarter. And that is the first carry for Sanders here in the second half.
That is the threat you always
third quarter. And they do. Mitchell looking at the time. Great protection to the end zone. Morton. Touchdown Detroit.
Oh, what a catch. Johnny Morton.
Final play of the third quarter, a quarter that has seen Detroit, should they get the point after touchdown, rally for 21 third quarter points.
Folks, the Raiders have left the building. Maybe they will come back in the fourth quarter. But watch the protection. They talk about how good McLaughlin is and Nolan Harrison and Jerry Ball. Why does Mitchell have so much time? Morton got a knee down. 1 knee equals 2 feet. Great catch.
So here's Hansen. Or rather Ford. And Hansen bangs it through for the point after touchdown. All this excitement, so much scoring. Ford and Hansen as big a part of the offenses today as Hostetler and Mitchell. Don't go away.
Halftime. You feel that good about yourself that you come out and completely disappear in the second half, and the penalties have had a lot to do with it.
Carl Kidd brings it across the 25 out to the 28-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Ron Rivers.
Appreciate the protection up front. Big Ray Roberts, 72 right there, and then the rookie Harding's down inside, just killing Jerry Ball. I mean, you talk about what teams have to do and what makes teams successful. You give your quarterback time. We've seen it on both sides. Then you can let this stuff happen. Johnny Morton making the big play. Still, I think it goes back to a lot of people talk about the great talent of the defensive line of the Raiders. Well, a lot of people also think that they're overrated. We have not seen them get great rushes on the passer the last couple weeks.
Raiders have gone 3 and out their last 2 possessions. Hostetler throws, and the throw a little bit high and through the hands of James Jett.
And they throw and they stop the clock. And if you're Wayne Fontes, you look up at that scoreboard and you love to see that clock stop.
Well, this game presented by the authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Oakland Raiders and the NFL is prohibited. 4th quarter just underway. 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders, who lead 34-21. Hostetler flushed out, being chased, headed for the first down marker, and he will be very close. It looks like he's about a foot past where he needed to be.
Boy, Haas is so beat up and has had so many surgeries and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't look great running out of there, but he gets the job done. He knew what he had to do. Shane Bonham, nice job of getting into the pressure, getting to the quarterback. But you know, you got to give this to the quarterback, because he sees that it's a coverage sack about to happen. Look at the room he has. He knows where the marker is.
First down, the last 3 Oakland possessions, and the pitch to Napoleon Kaufman. And he picks up a little better than 5 yards before tackled by Benny Blades. Well, the Raiders, their first 2 possessions in the second half, 67-yard touchdown to James Jett, then a 62-yard touchdown reception by Ricky Dudley to go up 34-0. But since then, absolutely nothing until this drive.
Mike 36, Rocco 36.
Hostetler on a 2nd and 4 will throw. Completion, first down to the tight end, Ricky Dudley.
Oh, look at Wisniewski, and there it is. They got Wisniewski for piling on. That was something he didn't have to do, and it's going to take him back. That's a great throw, a great catch. It would have moved the chains, but now they're going to call it off.
Well, the flag came in late as Wisniewski went for contact after the whistle.
And you know, if you look at Wisniewski carefully, he's a guy you want on your team. He's a guy you want protecting, because he's going to play to the whistle and give 100% effort.
Personal foul on the offense, number 76. Piling on after the ball was dead. 2nd down after a 15-yard penalty.
See there what I'm saying, but Wisniewski goes over the edge sometime. Here, the play is done. What is Steve Wisniewski trying to achieve like that outside of hurting someone?
Well, that's
why that has to be called. Because Ryan McNeil has his head down.
Well, it's a 2nd down and 12. The first down nullified. Hostetler will try and make up for the penalty. Drops it off to Daryl Hobbs. He gets some of it back out to the 46-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and close to 4.
Picked up by Ryan McNeil. Benny Blades assisting with the tackle. 9-yard gain.
Watch Wisniewski here.
3rd and 3.
Blocking by any means necessary. If you got to grab him, grab him. Like I say, he's a great guy to protect the quarterback. Jeff Hostetler's wife has to be in love with Wisniewski. Her husband has a better chance of coming home healthy every week.
3rd and 3, big play. And the play is blown dead. Hostetler got cut near the end of the play after it was blown dead, and Hostetler's going after somebody. He's claiming that
Wisniewski better get off the ref.
Hostetler claiming that he took a cheap shot there. It looked like Mike Wells or Bonham. Wells down at the bottom of the pile, and Bonham.
Gogan a little slow to get up there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So since you brought it up, the one penalty for 5 yards, the Raiders have now been hit 6 times for almost 100 yards. Or pardon me, closer to 60 yards.
That's Gogan. You know, the worst part about this is that the more you do stuff like that, the more that the crews who come in here to officiate are looking for it. So it kind of perpetuates itself.
Well, they had a 3rd and 3. Now it turns into a 3rd and 8. They had a first down about 5 plays ago. That was before the personal foul on Wisniewski. Hostetler, good protection this time. And batted down. Terrific play made by number 38, the rookie Ryan Stewart out of Georgia Tech.
Great play by Ryan Stewart. Timely play. And once again,
It's a 4th down.
the penalty.
12 minutes, and that one nearly blocked. Gossett able to get it away. Melbourne steps out of the way. Looked to be touched by a Raider. And it was at the 27-yard line.
Ball's down by Mike Burton.
So let's see if Detroit can pick up where it left off its last 3 possessions. 34-21. Oh, to Trip, no sign of the reindeer.
Even the reindeer here wear black.
First down, Lions trying to throw up some more points, and a quick strike to Perryman along the sideline. And he's close to another first down. Clock's still rolling, 11:37. The last 3 Lions possessions, 21 points. First 2 drives under 2 minutes, and just barely for the 3rd.
And more importantly, look at the time of possession, like you're saying, Tom. They get the ball, they're scoring fast. And another thing I noticed, they're doing a great job of spraying the ball around. Now there's Hardings right there. Number 64, the rookie left guard or right guard. This guy has not gone through any training camp and has stepped on the field here and doing a pretty good job.
Herman Moore out of the game momentarily. He wants back in, saying to Tom Moore and Wayne Fox.
Tom Moore just trying to keep Herman there on the sidelines for at least one more play.
2nd and 8. Mitchell throws to Perriman. He's shy of the first down by a yard or 2. It'll bring up 3rd down. Clock rolling now. Under 11 minutes to 10:50. But more than enough time the way Mitchell and the Lions in this hurry-up mode offense.
First down.
Time is burning. They were going to call for a measurement. Boy, the Lions ought to contend this. They lost a good 25 seconds. And Mitchell plows ahead for the first down.
That was very confusing. The ref gave a signal like it was a first down. And then, like you said, Tom, in the meantime, they've lost 20 seconds trying to figure all that out.
Ball at the Raider, 45. Herman Moore back into the game, and Mitchell sacked by number 51, the rookie Lance Johnstone. His first career sack. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Fox Television Center. JB.
Tom, kicker Gary Anderson has been the man for the Eagles. This is his 3rd field goal, cutting the Giants' lead to 1. Eagles have the ball on their own 45. Let's take it back to Tom and Ron.
Right back to action. Lions in the hurry-up offense. Perriman the reception at the 45. He'll bring up 3rd down, Ronnie, and close to 10.
The Raiders have traditionally been great bump and run teams. You think back to the great corners, Haynes, Lester, Willie Brown. They need to get up and play Detroit tight, bump and run to stop the short routes.
Mitchell, the long ball, has a receiver down the field and nearly bringing it in with Perriman.
And there was contact at about the 34-yard line. Let's see if it's on Brown. They tried to double dip him and take him uptown.
And threw the flag at about the 25-yard line.
If I'm going to run that
Illegal
route.
contact on the defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Another Raider penalty.
It's a nice stutter and go. Boy, I've seen more called than that. Right there, Perriman goes back on him. They called Brown for touching after the 5-yard area. And you know, if you're going to run that route, we know Brett Perryman is not 100%. He told us that last night. Run it to Johnny Morton.
And that is a 5-yard.
Run it to Herman Moore.
That's a 5-yard holding penalty, Ronnie. Pardon me. So it is not automatic first down.
Okay, right. I didn't think so. That looked clean. They looked clean. That was good football there.
9:23 to play. And Mitchell with time to throw, going to the sideline again, and Perriman well covered. Lorenzo Lynch and Larry Brown on the coverage. Boy, if Detroit can find a way, Ronnie, to ring up 7 more here.
Tom Moore knows this place very well. 13 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you remember the great battles they used to have. He told me before the game, this damn place gives me the chills.
2nd and 10 at the Raider 40. And Mitchell to throw, feeling the pressure, throws to Moore. He got away with a push, but it's overthrown and incomplete.
He did get away with the push, and Herman will do that a lot. Pretty nice coverage, a mismatch. There's Herman right there. He's going to work up the field, and they end up having Lorenzo Lynch man-to-man on Herman Moore. Ooh, talking about giving people the chills. Your strong safety trying to cover Herman Moore. But the fact that he had to fight so hard to get out of that traffic left him a step and a half behind. That gave Lynch time to recover and get in on a good play.
Raiders 34, Lions 21, 9:13 to go in the 4th. 3rd down and 10 for Mitchell and the Lions. Johnny Morton makes a catch. Is tackled at the 34-yard line by Mike Jones, and he'll be short of the first down. But, well, tough decision here. You're trailing by 13. It would be a very long field goal, and apparently the Lions are going to go for it on 4th down.
You don't have a choice. Not only is it going to be a long field goal, Tom, if you miss it, the Raiders will get possession at the spot of the kick. That would make it even worse. They have to go for it.
Fourth down and 3. Need to get to the 30-yard line. Moore in motion. And Mitchell being chased by Ball.
Got to let it go.
Throws it up in the air and batted down by James Trapp. Aubrey Matthews, the intended receiver. So the Raiders will get it back on down.
If that's Herman Moore and not Aubrey Matthews, he misses that opportunity. That was what they were looking for. That's why they run the pick play.
So the Raiders get the ball with 8:37 to go. Aska bangs his way across the 40 to the 41, running into Billy Blades. 13-point Raider lead with just under 8.5 to go here in Oakland.
A gain of 7.
Gorgeous fall afternoon here in Oakland, California, just across the bay, downtown San Francisco.
From the 41.
Mitchell and the Lions have been climbing a hill all day long. They trailed 34-0 at one point. Made it 34-21, and now they need the football back. Pitch to Aska. And he's dragged down for a yard loss by Robert Porcher. Well, again, a reminder, later tonight, in fact, coming up next, right here on Fox. Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. The Cardinals leading the heavily favored Braves 2-1. That'll be immediately after our game. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, and Bob Brentley on the call. A 3rd and 3 for the Raiders.
Got him.
Looked like they got Porcher in a free play. Tim Brown to catch it midfield. And injured trying to make the tackle is Corey Raymond, who comes up limping. Let's see if it was an early start.
Offsides on the defense, number 91. Penalty is declined. First down.
Well, this is what the Raiders needed to do that they hadn't done in the second half so far. Bring the ball across the 50. Hold the ball let the clock run like it's doing right now. Joe Bugle there, talked about him.
Bugle rumored to take over for Mike White with the Raiders slumping early in the season.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot's been rumored around here. I've even heard rumors of Willie Brown being in there.
Will stay on the ground on the pitch to Joe Aska. Breaks a couple of tackles, and the rookie still on his feet inside the 30, down to the 25, but a penalty flag down on the field at about the 40-yard line.
An outstanding block by number 64, Robert Jenkins. Just flattened a DB coming around the corner. Unbelievable. And that's Jenkins right there. He's going to pull. I tell you what, he's looking for some lunch meat. And unfortunately, Brad Ford is his lunch meat. Yes, blocks him in the next week.
Well, the penalty will nullify the big gain, by far and away the largest run of the afternoon for Joe Aska. Aska, after 136 yards last week, 13 carries, just 21 yards here today. Now the Raiders won with the ground game, 222 net rushing yards last week. See the penalty situation, how it's affected the Raiders today.
Wow. They got back their quota, didn't they?
Pass run behind Aska, stopping the clock with 6:06 left to go.
Boy, for the most part, you know, with the injuries that this team had, Detroit has done a pretty good job of fighting back and getting back in this game. I mean, we were ready to close the coffin on these guys. And what did Wayne say yesterday? We talked to him on the phone. He said, I'm planning on not showing up. It's that bad. And it was that bad.
Second and 20 for the Raiders. Hoffman takes a handoff and is caught from behind. One-handed tackle around the jersey by Robert Porcher to the 45. Third down for Oakland.
Boy, Benny Blades is down and he is hurt. There he is. Benny's too tough to stay down too long. Porcher doesn't grab a little cloth. Look at this. You know, that's why these guys tighten up their jerseys. It used to be, you know, when the Bolitnikovs were here and the Cliff Branches, they had the sleeves and they were open and all that kind of stuff. Now the game has gone to the muscle look. And somebody needs to throw Kaufman a washcloth. Can't even see his tattoo there.
Everybody else is painted up here today. Why not him?
Yeah.
Third and 17. Hostetler being chased. Gets out of the pocket, headed for the sideline, and he's out of bounds at the 47, so the Raiders will have to punt with 5:12.
Look at Wayne over there talking to him. I think Haas was getting ready to go after whoever hit him on the sidelines like there. And Wayne might have, I think he knew it. McNeil tried to take a shot at him, and Wayne said, hey, come on over here, son.
Well, McNeil's trying to pay somebody back for that shot he took from Wisniewski. Hostetler, 4 rushes today for 44 yards. The prior 3 before that one have all been big ones. Clock under 5 minutes. Detroit needing 2 touchdowns to take the lead.
They got to call that one. Roughing the kicker. Or running into him.
And it's down.
That's a touchback. They messed that up.
Yes, they did, but again, a penalty flag. As Gossett was hit.
It'll depend now whether it was a 5 or a 15. If it's a running into, it'll be a 5. If it's a rough. Man, that's actually a good thing for the Raiders. They get a chance now to put the ball back down inside the 10-yard line.
Straight into the air. Milburn waits for a fair catch and handles it cleanly at the 11. So the Lions have 4:36 left to try and make up a 13-point spread. And we'll be back to see if they can do it in a moment. Buckeye.
This is it for Detroit. They got to get one in here and get it fast.
Trailing 34-21 up top to Perriman, went right through his hands. And almost intercepted by Lorenzo Lynch.
Lorenzo Lynch defending.
There you go.
Harriman, you know, once again, they're trying to throw this ball into triple coverage. You got Trapp there, Lands there, Lynch is there. What's the point? I mean, that ball needs to be thrown to the other end of the field. Don't throw that ball in there. And it went right through his hands. He could have caught the ball.
Second down at the 10. Mitchell gets it away somehow to Sanders. And he's out across the 20 to the 21, close to a Lions first down. Lynch on the tackle.
Lorenzo Lynch.
Clock continues to roll at
How does
15.
Mitchell get this ball out of there?
Reminiscent of Kenny Stabler there.
That left hand, this stadium has seen a lot of that.
First down throw, intercepted by Larry Brown. They brought over Larry Brown from the Dallas Cowboys to make plays. That's his first interception in a Raider uniform. And for all intents and purposes, Brown, much maligned, has put a much-needed Raider win on ice. 55. The Lions drive. And again, Brown, his first interception in a Raider uniform. Oakland looking to go 3-4 with back-to-back wins. Aska, big ground gain, and he's inside, still on his feet, dragging tacklers to the 16. Aska had a grand total of 21 yards before that carry. Clock down to 3 minutes. Aska will get another chance.
Hold up.
And he's down to the 13. Aska get a chance to continue to pile up a few yards, but he is tackled back at the 15 by Corey Raymond. Well, before their long run by Aska a moment ago, Jeff Hostetler was the leading rusher for the Raiders today. So how good are things going for Oakland? They're back at home, and they're about to win their third game of the year. 2 minutes to go. Napoleon Kaufman takes the pitch. He'll stay in bounds, keeping the clock winding. Under a minute 50.
It's not even close. He even has time to adjust his face mask. That is a la Raider football, and Al Davis is very proud sitting up in the booth watching that.
Cole Ford, the 32-yard field goal try is good. So with 1:46 left to go, the Raiders extend the lead to 37-21. The Raiders eventually went ahead
to get going. The offense never got the chance to get going.
Ford boots it well into the end zone, and Milburn figures, why not?
Exactly.
They'll bring it out across the 20 and to the 26-yard line. Stopped by James Fulston. Well, again, it was 34-0, 5 minutes into the third quarter in favor of the Raiders. In fact, Mike White had thought about pulling Jeff Hostetler out of the game. But then it took the Lions 7 plays, and they got to the end zone covering 80 yards on a touchdown pass to Herman Moore. Their next drive, Moore, another touchdown reception. Then a 19-yarder to Johnny Morton made it 34-21.
And all those touchdowns were set up by bad field position because of penalties.
Now the Lions down by 16 as Mitchell drops it off to Herman Moore. The clock will continue to roll now under a minute 30. And what
injury situation on defense, and even a right guard injury situation.
Mitchell will be thrown down by Andre Bruce.
What do you call that? I think that's the...
Mitchell will just throw down the middle. Morton makes the catch, and he'll be tackled, thrown to the ground by Lorenzo Lynch at the 42.
Johnny Morton.
They were calling for the head of Wayne Fonts.
Yeah, and as I recall also, this time last year, the Raiders were off to a pretty darn good start. And then the walls came down.
Rivers and Victoria. If there are two teams that indicate about not getting too high or getting too low early in the season, it would be these two teams.
I don't know about you, Tom, but just being in this stadium, this is the first time for me personally. There's something very special about the Raiders being back in Oakland. I mean, it's like you see all the silver and black, and
Mitchell hoping for another gasp, and it's incomplete back into the end zone. 15 seconds left to play. And the Broncos off this week, the division leaders. Rivers out of the backfield inside the 10, down to the 7, and that we'll see if they have enough time to get one more play off. Doesn't look like it. Clock down to 2 and 1, and that is that. So the Raiders, after a win over the Jets last week, get one here today, 37-21, and we'll be right back after these messages.